I. Ooh, that's a tricky one. Yufang Zai? I? Yufang I? Because you usually take away the X, so Yufang I? I think so. Can you... Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to China for the final round of the IFSC Speed World Cup. I'm joined by Sebastian in the commentary box. Sebastian, how are you doing here this evening?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me.
It's lovely to have you. I've been wanting to have you up here for the entire season, but we've managed it. And now we're straight away into our first race. Alexandra Miroslav on the left, Julia Randi on the right. Alexandra Miroslav, of course, the winner from Rome, the Olympic qualifier event, as we wait for the buzzers. And it's a good start from both women. Alexandra Miroslav, though, powering ahead. Julia Randi slipping down low. And it is going to be Alexandra Miroslav at the top. 6.5, a good run from her.
That's just a solid run, I think. The 6.5, 6.6, just a normal time for her. So she's doing a great run here. Julia, unluckily, with a little mistake after the Tomoa skip. But I think she had to go all risk 100% against Ola.
Tell us about the Tomoa skip, because it's a move you speed climbers know intimately. We don't. It's missing out the hold on the left.
Yeah, exactly. It's missing out hold 4, so we're going. Most of the people take the first, then the third, and then the fourth, and the fifth hold. They just skip the left one because it makes a straighter line you can climb, so your hip doesn't move too much to the left and then back to the right.
Well, that's that method at the beginning, named after Tomoa Naris. The video describing that. Right, Dainu on the left, Capucine Viglione on the right, and Capucine especially. Recently she's got under that 7-second mark and she's been incredible since then, so excited to see this race. Can Capucine pull something out of the bag here? So we wait. The stadium drops into silence once more. Clean start from both women. Capucine slightly ahead at the moment. Dai Yu now coming back at her through the middle section. Watch the top final. Starting pad in the air. Dai Yu coming back there from behind.
That's a close one. That's like less than a tenth of a second, I think. But Capu with a 7.0, which is of course not the worst time, but I think when you can climb 670, and she did it recently, so I think she might not be too happy about the time.
Talk to me about the wall, because obviously you were qualifying on this wall. I've heard the friction is good.
Yes, it's insane. It's probably the best World Cup grid wall I've ever climbed on.
Ooh.
It's like I came here, didn't know what to expect, but the wall is crazy. Like the holds, of course, they are the normal speed holds. They are good, they are new, they are fresh. But also the wall, I touched it in my first practice run, and it grips 100%. It's like the best wall I've probably climbed on.
Oh, there we go. So the speed athletes have everything they need. Now it's up to them. Patricia Wujiang on the right, Yifei Zhao on the left. Team China, of course, a big presence here in this final World Cup, as you'd expect from their home World Cup. Patricia turns first. I love the emotion on her face. All right, here we go. 2 hands on the wall, 1 on the starting pad. And it's a good start. Patricia had the better start, and she's keeping that lead, but slips and falls. Patricia goes. Yifei Zhao is going to walk away with this one, and she does. Sebastian, what happened there?
That's unfortunate. I am not sure what happened there. It just seemed like she was maybe too fast in some points, or was too hectic about some movements. And in speed climbing, it's really fast that the smallest mistakes can cost you the whole run, and in this case, the whole competition. So there might have been just a little stumble, a little hesitating, or a little too much pulling, too much power. And then it's all over. I mean, that's speed climbing.
I honestly don't know how you guys do it, but it's the most intense part of our sport, because you put so much work into this, like hours and hours in the gym, and then, as you said, one slip and that's it, done. Unreal. Right, Natalia Kaluchka waits in the wings, and she is next to Yufang Zai from China, another Chinese athlete making it through. And everyone's talking about the Chinese team because, and we said it before, COVID happened, they went away, and they've come back so strong.
They've came back insanely strong. Like, I think the first competition they did after they went away for COVID, they had like 6 out of 6 podium spots. I think it was in Villar.
Yeah.
That was an insane comp. And everyone, I mean, we did expect them to be strong, but I think we weren't ready that they were this strong. It's really impressive.
Yeah, the world has been catching up since then. Well, Natalia Kaluchka is a lady who can certainly put her mark on this competition. She looks upwards, as does Yufang. So Natalia versus Yufang. Let's see who takes this. And it's clean again. Yufang with a much better start, accelerating. But watch Natalia Kaluchka. She comes back at her in the middle section. It's all going to be one in the air at the top. No, Natalia Kaluchka takes it easily. What a second part of the race.
What a second part of the race. And if you are looking at the reaction time, that was pretty impressive, because Natalia with a 0.28 reaction time, which is a pretty slow reaction time, if I might say it like that, because usually you have like a safe start between 0.15 to 0.2, and so 0.28 is pretty slow. So she's getting a good finish to catch up, but still, you see the time, it's just a 7.0, which she can beat easily usually. So yeah.
Yeah, I love it. You did air quotes then, and that just says it all, doesn't it? Because like what one athlete does, you know, they have a PB, but it does the clock doesn't really matter at this stage, just against the other athlete.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So maybe she did just a safe start because maybe she knew she could do it, or she knew what she's needing for a time. So. Yeah.
I want to talk more about reaction times in a second, so we'll watch this race. Sure. Reaction times are something, at full starts, is something that fascinates me. So Alexandra Kaluchka on the left, Manon Lebon on the right from France. Alexandra should have this on paper, as you can see, 6.58 versus a 7.27 in terms of PBs. It's a good start, Manon. Slightly quicker at the beginning, but now Alexandra Kaluchka is coming back. Hesitation from both athletes. Alexandra keeps it together in the air, and it is Alexandra moving forward.
It's a solid 6.8. Again, both athletes, because you wanted to talk about the reaction times, both athletes with a reaction time above 0.2. that's just a safe way to play it. I mean,
well, what is the reaction time? So closest to the buzzer going off. Is that what you're talking about?
the reaction time is like you have the 3 beeps, and a tenth of a second after the last beep, you are allowed to start, because researchers have shown that a human being can't react below 0.1 seconds. So yeah, the time, the measure is after the last beep. So the fastest reaction time you can possibly have is 0.100. Everything below is a false start, everything above is a valid start. And so if you have, for example, a reaction time with 0.2, you had a reaction time of 0.2, obviously. But so, I mean, the closer you get to that 1/10 of a second, the less controlled it is, because you have like the 3 beeps and they are always the same. So it's not really a reaction time, but yeah.
Okay, well, let's watch that reaction time. Shengyong Wang on the left, Mi Yang on the right, and then a big slip from Mi Yang there straight away. Shengyong Wang needs to keep it together. She slips. Well, hang on. Oh, keep slipping. Look at Mi Yang now coming back.
Wow.
Now, Sebastian, they can do that, right? Because no one fell off the wall.
Yeah, they can do that. I mean, that was an exciting race, because of course the times were quite slow, but still it's speed climbing, and as you mentioned earlier, it's just about the green light. So as long as you see the green light, everything's fine for you.
But something I've seen quite a lot throughout the years is athletes coming back, and it's something that we saw multiple slips on the left there. You can't relax necessarily, even though your opponent is dropped out of view.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you really recognize that your opponent did fall and that he or she is not able to climb back, and then you really can chill and take the run clean. But yeah, I mean, if you don't slip, you just need to finish your run, because you never know how big the other one slipped and how fast they will come back and recover. So speed climbing is all about just finishing the run and going on, and maybe even if you have a big slip in the Tomoa skip, for example, you're still able to win it. I mean, you never know if your opponent slips in the upper part, so it's just going on.
It's like in soccer, you have to play to the whistle, don't you? You can't presume anything. So it's what makes the sport so good. Yeah. Li Juandeng on the left, Yizhen Yi on the right. So 2 Chinese teammates against each other. For the second to last time for the women, we drop into silence. It's a good start from both, absolutely neck and neck as we reach the last sector of the wall here. Who's going to have it? I think it's going to be Li Juandeng, and it is Li Juandeng. Found something extra at the top.
Yeah, she just pulled ahead in the top section. Till then, they were like really head to head. Like here, you can see the Li Juandeng pull ahead a little bit, but I think the right lane might have also some little stumbles. Maybe not the perfect cleanest run she could do, but yeah, it was exciting.
Yeah, good races so far, and clean starts, no false starts.
No false starts, and just some mistakes, of course, but no faults, no. Yeah.
Yeah, well, Romero Perez from Spain is on the right of your screen. Zhang Xiquan on the left. And Leslie runs onto the stage. She has been amazing this year. It's so good to see her.
Yeah, we've seen multiple Spanish records, which is great to see. I mean, they push it down just tenths of a second or hundreds of a second. I mean, so yeah, it shows how much work you need to put in to just get the hundredth of the time.
Yeah, and it's shaving those microseconds off. This is what these athletes work so hard at doing. So Spain versus China. Final race for the women in the first round, and it's a good start from both. Leslie slightly behind, but now coming back at Zhang. This could be very close. In the air, let's see.
Oh, that was close. Oh, look at the reaction time. They had the same reaction time. That's
exactly
insane. The exact same reaction time. That was a close one. Leslie was ahead in the middle. Here she's ahead, and then
Zhang at the
she
top.
got caught up in the last move. Maybe just in the hand going up to the finishing pad was like she was beaten.
I love to see a race in the air, just because I think without cameras without timing pads we'd be in a lot of trouble here. All right, well, this is confirmation of the first round for the women, and you can see now how it works. So we whittle the athletes down until we reach our final and small final, and the same process is followed for the men. So now we will switch our attention to the men's side of things, and that is the starting list. So again, heavy Chinese presence couple of Indonesians, but not as many Indonesians actually as I thought. They didn't bring that big a team.
They didn't bring that big of team because I think they are preparing for the Asian Games. I think so. The Asian Games are still on. It's still an Olympic ticket to win there. So I think they are really focusing on that one. And we have Aspar here, which is always great. He always brightens up the World Cup grid. So it's nice that he's here. I think he just takes this one as a preparation for the Asian Games, because for him the Asian Games might be a lot more important than the last World Cup. Yeah, but it's true, they have quite a small team around here these days.
Yeah, well, it opens the door for a couple of other athletes, and of course a bigger Chinese presence.
And yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like, the Chinese are they have a lot of athletes here because, of course, it's in their country, so you get more spots to fill with your athletes. So there are athletes of China I've never seen before, which maybe never had the chance to fly to a World Cup, and now they do. So they are having a great night. I hope so.
Yeah, it is great to see the host country bring so many strong climbers. And we're watching a replay of the women's round before flicking on to the men's. Last couple of races coming through here. And look, talk to me about yourself and Team Germany, because obviously you're in the commentary box with me, so not the ideal end to your season. But it's been a good season for you this year.
It's been a good season. It always could have been a better one. But yeah, I finished the last World Cup with quite a good time. I'm quite happy. It was the second fastest time I could do this season. So yeah, the wall also was good for me. Yeah, now I'm in the commentary box. I mean, I'm happy to be here with you. It's always great having you. So, yeah, it's fun. Even if it's not the end I wished for. I was hoping to get maybe a final ticket once this season. But yeah, didn't work out. Winter's training going to be hard. Next season's about to come.
Come back strong, right? Well, Sebastian Luca here in the commentary box. My name is Matt Groom, and we are watching now the men's first round. Zainal Aparin, he is part of the Indonesian team on the right. Ling Zhang on the left. Close PBs. Ling Zhang getting close to that 5-second margin. Of course, that was beaten this year in competition. Oh, and it is a full start. We see our first one. So, you were talking about reaction times.
Yes.
He got too close to the mark.
He is below 0.1 seconds, so he had 0.062, which is quite a big false start, because it's... But that's what I meant, because it's not a real reaction time in the sense that you don't know when you have to react, because the signal has always the same rhythm, so you are predicting when it's coming, and your movements are prepared to be going as close to the 0.1 margin as possible.
Well, so hang on a second. If you're practicing this all the time, why isn't it perfect? Like, what gets you? Is it just sort of the adrenaline of the moment makes you react differently? You're just trying to push it a bit closer? It's
probably everything. I mean, if you try to push it, it's more likely that you're going to get a false start, of course, but still... Just the distance between saying at your marks and then you're staying ready in your position, and maybe it's just a couple seconds longer than you're used to, and then the ready comes. Maybe you zone out, maybe you are distracted by something, maybe you start thinking, okay, it's taking long, and then the first beep comes, and then your body needs to adapt to it, and your mind, of course, but all factors that can affect the reaction time, of course. So we train it a lot, but still random sometimes.
Well, we've seen one full start. Hopefully not another. Inshal Xin versus Yingxiang Wang on the left. It's a good start from both men. Inshal Xin is slightly ahead with the Chinese athlete coming back at him. It could be anyone's in the air, but it is going to be Inshal Xin. What a performance from the Korean.
That was a close one. Inshal Xin had quite a good season, I think. He had a couple World Cups where I've seen him run 5:10. 5-1 something, and so he's pretty consistent in that. I don't know what his PB is, honestly, but it might be at least a little faster, I think.
Yeah, it's nice to see the Koreans excel in speed as well as lead in boulder. You know, and the whole of the Korean team really stepped things up in the last couple of years. Like, it's good to have them. And we're seeing so many World Cups and Youth World Championships there. Yeah,
sure. Xin and Chul, I've got to know him in Villar last year pretty well, and he told me he's not speed climbing for so long, so he really got really strong in a fast time. I think he might be climbing speed for about 4 years now, when I remember right. Wow. So that's pretty insane.
That is crazy performance from him. Right, next race, Jingjae Hang on the left, Ninghui Wang on the right. Again, two teammates facing each other. And I'm going to talk to you about teammates in a sec. I'm sure that's a position you've been in a few times, and I'm always fascinated to know if it's harder or easier. But I'll ask after the race. PBs fairly similar. Huang on the left with a better 5.17. Wang with a 5.31. Of course, none of that makes any difference right now. Under the lights, the pressure ramps up for these men. That's a good start from both. Huang had the better start though, but Wang is starting to come back in now, but Huang's still slightly ahead and all the way. A 5.3. That's a pretty quick time, that.
5.3 is a quick time for sure, but 5.3 definitely is not that fast as it was a couple of years back. Yeah, but it was quite nicely done. So,
talk to me about teammates, because is it easier or harder racing your teammate?
Ooh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Depends. I mean, if you're running qualification, it doesn't really matter because it's not about winning or losing. And if it's in the comp and finals, in the knockout rounds, it's really dependent on how the trainings went, how much you train together, how well you know your teammate as well. Yeah, it's just hard to say. I can't really say it's harder or it's easier. It's just depending on the situation and something you have to do if it happens, and something you have to deal with. So, yeah.
Right, well, Ludovico Fasali on the left. He was one of the favourites in Rome last weekend, made a couple of mistakes and didn't get the ticket. Aspar on the right. A legend, let's be honest, in the Indonesian and world speed climbing scene. All right, who's going to take this then? This is going to be a close, fiery race, guaranteed. And it is a good start, but a big slip from Ludovico Fasali and Aspar again. This is all over the place here. Ludovico's going to take it.
And he's taking it with a 5.4, but such a big mistake. And it's unusual, not unusual, but it's a little rare to see the Indonesians and Aspar doing such big mistakes.
Yeah, hopefully we'll see a replay. I mean, Ludo had a little slip down low. It wasn't the smoothest of Tomoas from him, but
he had it together and he brought it back up the wall. And still, running a 5.4 with that kind of slip the time would have been really fast just with a clean start. So he did a really good job here, just going on like I talked about before. It's not over until it's over.
Very true. What a race that was. All right, next to Lin Hu from China, and then Young-jun from Korea on the right. Lin Yu there with a 5.07. Young with a 5.35.
So the Chinese guys all have so fast PB time standing there. It's incredible.
Yeah, getting into that team would I can't imagine how hard that would be. Really difficult for them, and a chance to prove right now they deserve that spot on the team. So here we go, another round, another race. You on the left, Young on the right. So Yu Lin with a good start, but it is the Korean athlete Young ahead at the moment. But look at the Chinese coming back at him, and Yu Lin wins that one. A really, really, another good time, but a good race.
That was close. That was a time difference of 0.03 seconds, I think. Yeah, about that. That's crazy. That was just a pretty clean race. I mean, those are the races that are the most fun because no one's making a mistake. You're just winning or losing because you're faster or slower, and it's not about I won maybe because you made a mistake or I made a mistake and that's why it wasn't close. So the runs and the races where both athletes climbed just two clean runs, they get their runs together is the most fun for me.
Yeah,
personally, but I think most of the athletes feel that way.
All right, Amir Maimuratov on the right of your screen from Kazakhstan, Ryo Omasa on the left from Japan. And speed again. I mean, Team Japan do everything pretty well, but they're doing speed better and better at the moment. So let's see if Ryo Omasa can make it through. Well, Amir had a much better start, but then slipped. Ryo Omasa is going to take this easily. He does. Sebastian, what happened to Amir then? He had a super explosive start, but then dropped out of sight.
Maybe his foot just popped off on the Tomoa skip, but we see Rio again. He had a great season. I think he got his first World Cup speed podium this year, 3rd place. And I think it's a good round for him. I mean, you saw him a little taking out the speed at the top section because he might have realized that Amir slipped, but still 5-5, constant, clean, done.
Yeah, exactly. Job done. He moves forward. Next race, another 2 teammates. I'll have to ask them if they like facing each other. Peng Wu on the left, Yingjie Wu on the right of your screen. Yeah, it is fascinating. I mean, you must know sort of their weaknesses as well as their strengths, but I think if I was a speed athlete and a teammate, I would definitely mess with my teammate a little bit. I'd do the things that annoyed them.
Yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens,
yeah,
of course.
I would do it.
Because you know each other most likely better than the other athletes.
Absolutely, yeah. There's that temptation, isn't there? I'm sure they don't, of course. Better people than me. Right, Peng Wu versus Yingjie Wu on the right. Well, Yingjie had a much better start, but now Peng Wu is starting to come back at him much faster through the top of the wall. Peng Wu found something, different gear in the top of the wall.
Yeah, he just pushed through. He just made it clean. And here, I think maybe.
Yeah, Wu on the right.
Wu on the right had some small mistakes. It didn't look that clean. And maybe that was the difference. But on the other hand, I think his PB was also 5-3 something. So it might have been a good run for him.
All right, well, 2 USA teammates now. Sam Watson versus Zach Hammer. Sam Watson with this routine. He always kicks the wall on the left. That's part of his routine.
I'm excited to see them both climb against each other, to be honest.
This is going to be a good one, isn't it? I mean, they were all smiles coming on. But right now, facing each other on the wall, we can forget the smiles. So Sam Watson has had a pretty special season. Hasn't got the Olympic place he wanted in Bern, but has a chance in the Pan Ams in a couple of weeks. And a lot of people are looking at him to be the favourite for that.
Yes.
So here we go. Team USA versus Team USA. Can't wait for this one. Well, Watson had a good start, but so did Zach Hammer. Zach hesitates and pauses. Sam Watson will run away with this with a very fast time.
Wow, that was a good time. 5.123. Yeah, I mean, Zach did his PB with 5.26 or 28, I'm not sure right now, in the qualification and moved on to the finals. And unluckily or luckily, maybe, depends on how they feel about climbing against his teammates, he did race against him, and he knew that maybe he had to push and that he had to risk something to win this race, because if you see Sam climb, it's always fluent. It's most of the times. I mean, of course, he does mistakes as everyone else, but still, he's really consistent in his time. So Zach might have known that he needs to really be in that PB section again to have a chance of beating him.
Now, I want to talk to you about lanes, because in this instance, everyone in the left lane, apart from one person, won that race. Does it make any difference if you're on the left or right?
I mean, the faster person, so to say, after the qualification is in the left lane. So if you like it more there, depends completely on the individual. But I think left lane is maybe a little easier because you don't see your opponent, especially in the start, because you're watching more to the left. Of course, you're not watching to the right in the start. And so this might be a little helpful to stay in your own zone, because you're not getting distracted and you don't see the movement in your eye, and you can just do your run. You can feel your movements. You are maybe a little more in your own headspace than when you are on the right side and you are seeing. I mean, of course, you are not really seeing and giving attention to them, but still, I think left lane can be a little better than the right one.
Okay, good to know. And one of my favourite things about speed is the fact, and we said it a bit, that you're shaving off tiny seconds of time. And beta is important.
Yes.
It's not just like you're running up this in a random order. You've learned every single micro friction of these holes.
Yes, it's insane. So the beta has changed in the last few years, like especially the upper part. I mean, we all adapted to the Tomoa skip when he invented it, because it just, like I said before, it just gives you a cleaner, straighter line to go up. And then the upper part where we skip the second last hold also is quite new, and because it's once again giving you a straighter line. And yeah, we just practice it all winter, all season, again and again and again, in parts, in full runs, in double runs, everything, because everything needs to be perfect, because you have no ability to just check again how you're climbing when you're in a competition.
And of course, I mean, I'm stirring the pot here a little bit, but we could see completely different beta in a couple of years. And someone might invent something ridiculous halfway up, and that's what makes part of this exciting, I think.
Yeah, it could be.
Well, Alexandra Miroslav on the left, Dainu on the right. This could be a really interesting race now, because if Alexandra makes a tiny mistake, Dainu is going to have a... Look at that focus from Dai as well. Well, Dainu had a much better start. Alexandra slipped at the beginning.
There's a slip.
Oh, it's a double slip, but I think Dainu is going to take this at the top, and she does.
She takes it. She takes it. Oh, wow.
Wow, look, everyone, I mean, Alexandra Miroslav is such a legend. She won that Olympic ticket. She had a different mentality going into Rome. She was more relaxed.
It was beautiful to see her in Rome.
I loved it. Like, seeing her relax was incredible.
It was so great.
But still, I mean, that is an upset here.
Yeah, that might be an upset, because everyone, of course, still expects her to win nearly everything, because just, I don't know, she comes to a competition, she's enjoying it, and bam, just new world record like it's nothing. But still, I think with her new mentality, with just enjoying the process, enjoying the comp, she might not be that sad, because she got what she wanted, what she missed in Bern, she got in Rome, so she has her ticket, she can finish the season happily, she did what she had to do to go there. Different mindset, different way of approach, but still she's done it, and so that mistake maybe is just...
rolling on, yeah, and it's going to cost her for the overall, though. That's one of her goals of coming to China, and she's not going to take that now.
That's true.
So big upset in terms of that as well. Right, Natalia Kaluchka on the right, Yaifei Zhao on the left. Yaifei Zhao making sure of that grip there. Quite a low grip for her as well. That's a good start from both. Natalia Kaluchka, though, ahead. Can she keep it together? She had a hesitation there. Zhao coming back her a little, but it is Natalia Kaluchka at the top of the wall. Natalia has this style where it looks like she skips up at the top. She, like, rotates her body slightly.
Yeah, I hope we can see it once again. Yeah, now you can see it. She moves her right hip into the wall and just keeps pushing, like, sideways up. I mean, it works for her. It looks super smooth. It looks super clean, so nothing bad about it.
And the women have a different beta, don't they, at the top? Because there's a method called the Chinese method, because the Chinese perfected it, even though it was around before. But the women do a different version of that.
Yeah, I think the women is maybe a little more individual, how they maybe like her turn their hip in, or just go straight, or skip the little small hold. And I think in the men it just became crucially necessary to do the Chinese top, just to keep, just to be able to push your times further.
There we go. See, micro beta throughout this route. Sort of makes speed such a good sport. And I hope if you're watching this for the first time, you understand it's so exciting. Right, Alexandra Kaluchka on the left, Shengyong Wang on the right. Shengyong had one last look back up at the wall before she turned. And do check out the routines of the athletes as well. Each of them have those own idiosyncrasies, their little habits. That's good from both athletes, neck and neck. But Alexandra Kaluchka pulls ahead, Shengyong Wang slips, and it is going to be Alexandra Kaluchka moving forward again.
And with a very strong time, 6.69 seconds for her. So I think it would have been really close if she didn't slip. But still, she performed a very great run. 6.6 is a very fast time, so she did a good job.
Her evening continues for the Kaluchka, or second of the Kaluchka sisters. And with Alexandra Miroslav gone, as we said, we kind of expect her to win. It does mean that we have, well, someone we didn't necessarily expect to win is going to win this for the women.
We have an open door at least.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, one of the favorites is gone, so another one can take her spot.
That's going to be exciting. Right, Shengyong Wang versus Li Zhongdeng. Li Zhongdeng on the left of your screen there, Shaquin Zhang on the right. Li Zhongdeng much faster on paper. 6.47 is her PB. But as we've seen here tonight, it doesn't really matter. it's crazy what could happen. Alright, so here we go. Wujiang Deng with her eyes shut, trying to focus on her own world, ignoring the crowd, the lights and the pressure. Well, it's a better start from Wujiang Deng there, but now she pauses. Zhang comes back at her a little bit. This is not the cleanest of races, but it is exciting. Wujiang Deng does take it eventually, but she made that hard for herself.
She made it hard, both times under 7, but still a good race.
Really, really cool to see. Wow.
It was close, heads up at the start, and then she pulled away in the end again.
Oh, back and forth, but the women's next round is done, and we're getting closer to the final and small final now.
And we have 2 times China, 2 times Poland, the Kaluchka sisters.
It really is sort of Poland, China, and Indonesia who rule the speed climbing waves, if we're doing pirate analogies here. I don't know why I'm doing a pirate analogy, but, you know, I'm in China, so why not? Other side of the world, my brain is clearly here. Men's round is next. You can see the next round of athletes. Sam Watson, Ludovico Fasali, not part of that crew.
And we have maybe a little like the rest of the world against China, because in the men's quarterfinal we have a Chinese guy in every race, so let's see.
Yeah, it's going to be tight. Well, that's coming up. We're just watching a replay of that second round for the women. That was Diane Yu winning that. And yeah, fast times. The wall looks really good here.
Yeah, the wall is really good. What's interesting is I spoke with Alla about friction and friction of the holes and everything. And she told me that for her, the friction doesn't really matter. She doesn't... Of course, I mean, she will feel it, but for her, speed climbing is not about the conditions. It's about her own performance and her own way of approach. And I found that pretty interesting, because I was always thinking about, the wall might be bad, then I can't show my PB, and she's running world records in good walls, in bad walls, in the worst walls.
Because you're right, because I've heard athletes tell me that if friction is bad, it can affect them sometimes in terms of their preparation and their mental game. So she doesn't seem to have that problem.
I mean, I don't know if she has it or not, but she told me that she's trying to eliminate it at least. But I know the feeling that you come to a competition and the wall might not be as good as you would like it to be, and then your brain starts to tell you, oh, maybe my beta won't work that clean, maybe I can't show what I worked for. And yeah, so that's a good approach. Just saying yourself, I just gotta do what I do always and what I do best, and the friction of the wall doesn't change, and you can't change it, so you don't have another choice than just do your job and do the runs, do the routines you have, and see what's happened.
Wise words from her. All right, first round of the men. Ling Zhang on the left, Lin Chalxin on the right. Both athletes heavily taped up on their arms there.
Yeah, also on the fingers.
Yeah, all on the left as well. Working hard towards the end of the season. I think everyone's wanting a break soon. Here we go. It's a good start. I can't call this. It's really, really close. Oh, but then Ling Zhang slips and Chalxin does take it. And look, that means a lot to him.
That means a lot. That might be official PB, like 5.10 is a pretty insanely fast time. It's great to see him get his best runs in the last competition, in the last World Cup of the season.
We should have a reaction time to the clock turning green, because the second he touched it, he seemed to be celebrating. He just knew, didn't he?
And I think he saw the time, but in the first seconds after the race, after you hit the pad, you don't necessarily see the time and realize what time you really did. You're just seeing red or green, and you're seeing red, then you're like, oh no. You're seeing green, then you're getting reactions like this.
Yeah, they're good to see, aren't they? Well, Ludovico Fasali, a big puff out of his cheeks there.
The only representative from Team Europe.
Exactly, yeah, he's still here. And then Jingzhe Huang on the left.
And they have close PBs.
They do. Ludo gets so fired up. I like watching it. Like, he terrifies me, I will be honest. Like, I do not want to come across Ludovico in a dark corner of this stadium when he's preparing for a race. It would be a full-on proposition. Well, he's going to use all of that fire. And watch his start as well. He's got one of the most explosive starts in the business. Let's see what Ludovico Fasali can do, but can Jingrai Hang say something about that? Well, it is a good start from Ludo, but he is, well, it's neck and neck now. Huang is coming back at him. Oh,
wow. There was a small stumble from Ludovico in the upper part. It was just a little small mistake, but it was maybe 0.1 seconds, and that's enough in this strong World Cup field. So, and you can maybe see that's the point where he lost it.
And Ludo's reaction said it all. I mean, it was that close. He knew it was that close.
He knew it was a little mistake he made, and he didn't have the perfect run he needed. So
it's so harsh, isn't it? Because now he walks off, and that's it, and you're left with this sort of empty feeling. Well, I would imagine. You can
when
see
you know it's over, it's
and you feel like, people who get a full start in the first round of quali, that's who I feel for the most. You fly to China, you full start, and that's it. It's done.
That's it. I mean, doing a full starting qualification always is the worst that could happen to you. I made the experience myself this year for the first time. I can tell you it's really not good.
I can imagine. I don't know how you guys do it mentally to keep it together. Right, Yu Lin on the left, Ryu Amasa on the right. Ryu looking like he means business there. I think he knows he's in with a good chance here. If he can spook something out of Yu Lin on the left. It's good from Yu Lin, a better start, but Ryo Amasa's come back at him. He's a little ahead now as we approach the top. Yu Lin slips. Ryo Amasa, another good time and another close race.
And a PB, 5.1 new PB for Ryo.
So Ryo really stepping things up. Look how vertical he is as well. No side-to-side movement, really.
Yeah. I was afraid in the top section it looked a little
like staccato-y, like a bit
side to side.
I
don't know the word, but it didn't look the style he climbed the lower part, so I was like, oh, okay. But he got it done safe, so.
I love watching Sam Watson, because he does that run on at the beginning as well.
Always, no matter how far the way to the wall is, he's always running.
Because I thought you might want to get there first to kick the wall so he doesn't put off his opponent, but it's not about that, it's just what he does.
I think it's just what he does. It's just part of his routine. It's just, maybe he knows that he needs a couple more seconds and he doesn't want to
disrupt it or
disrupt the other athlete, so maybe it's that, but I don't know, honestly.
Well, I'll have to ask him next time I see him. Right, well, Sam Watson on the right, Pengwu on the left. PB's too close to call. That's all about this moment. Sam Watson with a big swing back, and he's a long way ahead at the moment. Half a body from Sam Watson, but in the air he misses, and Pengwu takes it. Sam had that all the way.
Sam had that, but Sam had like two stumbles. It started after the middle, and then there was one little stumble which led to another stumble, and then he just flew off the wall while he was trying to touch the pad. But that's how it goes. I mean, you don't need a big mistake to lose a race. It starts with a little slip or you don't hit the hold where you wanted to hit, and then you can go on, of course, but it changes your movements, and then times might be not as good, or you might be kicked out of the wall and everything.
Yeah, it's a bit like in lead climbing when an athlete makes a fumble of a clip or something. It's something that looks small and inconsequential, but later on it makes a big difference.
Yes.
And I think we see that in speed, sort of, as in like it's more obvious in speed when that happens.
Yeah, because you get the consequences right away. I mean, in lead climbing you might do some mistakes and you just see it after a couple more moves, or after the route, or after just analyzing really exactly what happened. And in speed climbing, you make one little mistake and you instantly know, okay, that's a mistake, because either you see it, you fall, you do a false start, you do a mistake, you get the consequence instant.
Yeah, it's brutal, but it's like watching lead climbing in, well, speeded up, so it does. Yeah, lead climbing on fast forward, perhaps, let's put it like that. Right, well, now we have a little pause in proceedings where the athletes are reintroduced to the audience, so we will get to see them once more. They'll be paraded out to stand in the lights, and then we will move on. And for the first time, the race has still lots of significance, but if they lose, they get to race again, because they go into the small final, which is the race between bronze and fourth place.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and that's a harsh race as well, because you walk away with a medal or nothing.
I think it might be the toughest race because, like you said, it's a medal. I mean, you want always to go for the gold and the silver medal, but the bronze medal is better than the 4th place because you get to go upstage again. You get to take something home with you, and if you get 4th, you have just the 4th place.
They should give some kind of a trophy. I really believe this. All right, well, we're going to have a bit of a light show here as we have the presentation of the finals. I don't know if you caught this at the beginning of the broadcast. We had a full light show going on, which was kind of spectacular to see. So we have the DJ, who's somewhere back there having a wonderful time. We caught him on camera during the semi-final for lead. And smiles in the athletes' faces. And I love watching this as well, to see how each athlete reacts.
Yeah.
And they are going to be let on one at a time. This is intense as well.
She seems pretty focused.
Yeah, Dai Yu, well, she had to walk a long way by herself across the stage. But she's there now, and her eyes down. And it must be so difficult to stay within yourself in this moment. Well, and Natalia Kaluchka, the opposite kind of reaction. She's just enjoying it.
Both can be functional, because staying in your focus, trying to block out everything to get it clean, might be a good way, but just enjoying the moment, giving your emotions a free pass might also just be a good way to relax a little, to take the breaks you need between the races. And so, yeah. I mean, the difference is obvious between China and the Polish girls, so it's quite nice to see.
Well, Alexandra Kaluchka there was singing along. She had AirPods in, so she's got some kind of a tune. Yunchul Shin walks on, fists raised. He's kind of a combination of the both. He's happy, but he's trying to breathe deeply and just stay calm. Jingwei Huang comes on as well. Big smile on his face. And a clap, but looking a little nervous out there. Ryo Amasa, he's in his own world, then turns and smiles.
He seems really to enjoy it.
He always does. He's just loving the moment, I think.
Yeah.
And finally, Peng Wu will be announced. There he is. And those are the last athletes we have left in a fairly big field here in China. The quali was yesterday evening. Today is the finals. And the quali cuts down all the athletes to just 16.
That's also quite an impressive thing. If they split up the qualification and do the finals on the next day, how fast the first races are. Because usually, what means usually? I mean, most of the time in training, you start your warm up, you go to the wall, you make maybe some parts, you do a run before you really get going fast. And in a World Cup final, you don't have the possibility. We don't always have speed climbing holds or speed climbing parts or even full walls, nearly never in the warm-up zone. So we have little boulder walls, we have some jugs to do some fast pull-ups, maybe we have some hangboards for finger warm-up or something like that. But most of the times we don't have the speed holds and the angle of the wall and the right holds and everything. So it's pretty impressive to see how you have to warm up to be at the point there, and then going out there, and your first run needs to be 5.0 to 5.4 in the men's and 6.5, 6.7, 6.8 in the women. So that's pretty nice. It's great to see how many people are able to do that, because it's not that easy.
No, it's a very good point, actually, because so much does depend on the warm-up wall. We have perfect warm-up walls, like in Rome, where we had a long section with an auto belay, which is the ideal.
That was perfect.
Yeah, but not always practical. So, yeah, you are right. It's impressive they can be that explosive that early on. All right, well, this first race, remember, this is to see which athlete moves into either the big final for silver and gold or the small final for bronze and fourth place. That's what's ahead. Dai Yu versus Natalia Kaluchka. And both athletes clipped in and ready. Their auto belay either tucked behind them or in front of them, depending on the athlete's personal style. Now both flicks it behind. Well, it's a good start from both women. Natalia Kaluchka a little ahead, both paws down low, both paws in the middle. It's going to be all about the top.
Oh, and she takes it.
Natalia Kaluchka moves forward into the final. Yeah, not perfect run, but both athletes still getting fast.
She was quite behind. She was quite behind the whole run, and just in the last two moves, she got ahead.
So what a comeback there from Alexandra Kaluchka.
After a quite slow start.
Sorry, Natalia Kaluchka. Sorry, I said Alexander. Natalia Kaluchka, sisters mixed up there.
And she's happy. Oh, she's happy. That's the big final for her.
That's massive. She screamed at the top when she got the green lights.
Let's see if we have a family race here.
Could do. It's happened before, hasn't it?
It happened before, and it might happen again.
All right. Well, the next race, Alexandra Kaluchka. There she is. Li Zhuangdang on the left. Yeah, will it be a family affair in the finals? We'll have to find out. I thought she was wearing, I thought Li Zhuangdang had socks on there, but I think she's just got a strapped up left ankle. So, Poland versus China. The last race before the finals for the women. Another brilliant thing about speed is that it's not a 2-hour broadcast here. It's about an hour and we're done, bar the podiums, of course, which will come after this. And there is the overall podium as well to finish things off. And, of course, Sebastian will be interviewing the winners. If everything works technically, we'll find out. So, Alexandra Kaluchka on the left, Li Zhuangdang on the right. It's a good start from both women. Li Zhuangdang is ahead and Alexandra falls down low. Li Zhuangdang takes it. Unfortunate from Alexandra.
That was an unfortunate mistake. I am not sure what exactly happened, but it was a clear fall and not a small mistake. You could try to wipe out and get back with the race, and I think Deng knew it and felt it and just finished her run.
Yeah, well, she will move forward, and there it is. Confirmation, Natalia Kaluchka versus Li Zhuangdang. Dai Yu versus Alexandra Kaluchka in the small final. So, 2 more races to go for the women. But first of all, we will go over to the men. Same process. Who will make it through to which final? Yuncheng Shin versus Huang there, and Ryo Omasa versus Peng Wu down at the bottom. So those are the last 4 men remaining. And we wait now, and there's this slightly nervous anticipation in the stadium as we watch what happened before. This was the comeback. You're right, she made mistakes, but what a comeback at the end.
It was insane. I don't know how she got it done, but in the top section, like her tap to the pad seemed really fast. Maybe faster than usual, I'm not sure, but you really saw her will to win this race no matter what.
Did, and then we also saw the big fall from Alexandra. You were right, she was gone. There was no pulling that one back.
There was no pulling back, no.
Because you can fall and then catch the last hold you were on, right? So if you slip, as long as you're grabbing that hold that you were on before, it's okay. You can't fall kind of 4 holds down and then grab onto
exactly.
the wall.
If you slip and you get to catch the same hold you slipped from, then it's okay, you can move on. But as soon as you catch yourself a hold or multiple holds below the last one you had, it's counted as a fall. Even if you catch yourself and go climbing, it's gonna be ranked like a fall.
Alright, well, our next race for the men. Jingui Huang on the right, Yuncheng Shin on the left. So the Korean athlete having that perhaps slightly quicker, as Sebastian said, left lane in terms of distraction, certainly. I think I'd want to see my opponent. I want to be chasing him up the wall, but I know what you mean about the distraction element of it.
Yeah, I mean, that's individual. The right lane could also be your favorite if you have the will to just chase and to maybe see where your opponent is standing.
All right, well, the athletes approach. They clean their shoes off. Last bit of preparation before they take their position and wait for starters' orders. Well, it's a much quicker start from Shin then, but then he stumbles. Huang is going to take this easily eventually with a 5.224.
That was a little unlucky mistake. I think Shin just missed a hold for a couple centimeters, and he recovered and he did his best to finish the run, but it just wasn't enough with this mistake. So maybe there were like 2-3 centimeters off the hold, and that's how fast it's over in speed climbing.
Yeah, that's all it takes. Yuncheng will race again, of course, for a bronze medal in a couple of minutes. But finally, we have our last men's normal round race. Ryo Omasa Didn't notice that necklace he's wearing before. It's really glinting in the lights there, isn't it? It's like sparkling. And then
it is.
Peng Wu runs on. I don't know if it's new. Maybe I just didn't notice it in the other races, but it caught my attention there. Look at it. I like
it's
that.
shiny.
Bit of bling going on from Peng Wu. Sorry, from Rio Ramasa.
Oh, they seem to be in the wrong lanes.
Yeah, so they'll switch over there. I was wondering if the graphic was wrong or the lanes were wrong, and it turned out the lanes were wrong. So they'll readjust the starting pads. Rio Ramasa on the left, Peng Wu on the right, as it should have been. A little bit of a moment there for us all.
This can also be really distracting. If it happens to you, you walk to the wrong lane and your opponent does the same.
Yeah, true.
Might be also a factor to just getting you a little uncomfortable and pulling you out of your routine.
Yeah, well, let's hope it hasn't affected them. Peng Wu on the right, Rio Ramasa on the left. Well, it's clean. Peng Wu had the better start. Rio Masa's now coming back at him as we near the end of the route. It is going to be Peng Wu, but that was close.
Wow, that was insane. 5.0 against 5.0. That was the fastest race of the night so far.
Rio Masa had his head in his hands immediately. Like on any other night, that would have been his, but
probably, yes.
Wow. That was very close. What a great way to finish the normal races here before moving on to the finals. And a packed audience as well out there.
Yeah, I was also watching lead semis earlier the day, and the hall was filled with people. The crowd was insane. There was so much noise. It's nice. It's really nice to look climbing here and to watch the competition. So the crowd is just really enjoying it.
We were talking during the semi-final. It feels a bit like Bern in terms of atmosphere in there, and it does a little.
Somehow, it's also like a big indoor hall. You have everything. It's quite a nice venue. I mean, wall is good, warm up is okay, and you have a lot of space. You are not dependent on the weather, and I know what you mean. It still feels a little smaller, of course, but because Bern was insane, but it has these Bern vibes.
Yeah, well, we have this nice thing in IFSC comp climbing where we have some outdoor stadiums like Chamonix, Briançon, which are really spectacular.
Yes.
But then we come inside and it feels different. It's not better or worse. It's just a whole different environment. To go into.
It's different. I mean, climbing outside it's also great because most of the times in these outdoor venues you're not dependent on seating or standing places for the crowd. You don't have a limited space for people to come watch. So if someone steps by in an outdoor competition, they can just stay and watch it and get to know the comp climbing field and action. And but like you said, climbing inside is still very interesting because
it's very focused, isn't it? Like it feels like everyone's eyes are in the same place. Whereas outdoors, you can sort of wander around, go get a drink, and it's different. It's like a festival vibe.
Especially in Chamonix, where you have like the big mountain, the big mountain view, and everything else going on. That's true. It's also it's more focused because the people who are in the hall, they know what they are coming for, and they know that they want to see you climb, and so you know that they are watching when you climb.
Exactly. Well, if you're just joining us, we're coming to the last couple of races here for the last Speed World Cup of the year. My name is Matt Groom, Sebastian Luca here in the commentary box with me from Team Germany. And we are enjoying watching the last bit of action here this evening. We had the lead semi-final earlier on, 26 athletes whittled down to just 8, and then the final will take place tomorrow, which is Sunday the 24th, and that will take place around 7:30 Shanghai time, and I have no idea what that is in European time, so you'll have to do the maths. I think it's 7 hours behind.
I think it's 6.
Is it 6?
I think it's 6 hours behind, so it might be 1:30
around that, mid-afternoon, early afternoon. Anyway. Enough time for you to go away in the morning. If you're a climber, go and have a climb in the morning, train, and then get the work done. Come back and watch the finals.
Enjoy it.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. And of course, if you want highlights and catch-up action, go to the IFSC YouTube channel, where we have daily videos released. And of course, the IFSC Instagram page updates you with our photographers' photos, and Twitter and Facebook and all that social media goodness. You can go and get your climbing fill. And we're having a little pause here before we start the small final. Start with the women's small final. And Sebastian, what's the plan for you now? Because obviously you're building up to qualifiers next year, but in terms of comps, that's kind of it for you for this year.
That's it. I'm done. This one was my last one. And I'm honestly quite happy about it. It's been a long season. It's been a hard season. We've traveled a lot. We've had a lot of competitions. So it's always enjoyable, and I love traveling and climbing. But at some point, it's just nice to look ahead for 4 or 5 weeks, just being in the same place for more than maybe a couple days. So right now I'm just finishing my season. I'm flying back on Monday in the night, and then I'm just taking some time off, maybe go some bouldering and lead climbing as well once again. Nice. And otherwise I will also go to vacation and enjoy
relaxing
it.
Time.
Yes, a little at least.
Right, here we go. Women's small final. Dainu on the left, Alexandra Kalichka on the right. Alexandra with a big fall in her last round will want some redemption from that. So with the bronze on the line, both are away clean. Alexandra Kalichka stumbles again. Dainu just needs to keep it together now. But look, Alexandra come back at her.
Yes.
Oh, but Alexandra will take that 4th place that we discussed how heartbreaking that is.
Yeah. I mean, she pushed it through, so she did what she had to do just to be sure. I mean, if New D would have slipped, she would have had a chance because she didn't give up and she just pushed. So she did everything right.
Yeah, Alexandra really came back, and I know Dainu slowed down a little bit as you would do, but still, like she had to keep going there.
Yeah, she had to still finish the run.
Yeah. All right. Well, the small final for the men: Wujiang, Ryu, or Masa. This is going to be great.
This is going to be insane.
There's some races you pray for no full starts, and this is one of them. I want this to run.
Of course, yeah. And I want it to be clean. I really hope we have no mistakes and we just see 2 fast times.
That's the dream. Those PBs are close. Wujiang will be on the left. Ryu Amasa on the right. That's Korea versus Japan for 4th or bronze. Who will stand on the podium here this evening? Seconds away from finding out. All right, is a clean start, thank goodness. Ryu Amasa is fast at the moment. Wujiang is there, but it is going to be Amasa.
That was the fast and clean race we wished for, and we have a 3rd place for Ryu again this year. Nice to see him back on the podium.
It's good, isn't it? And it was, almost perfect from him. A slight misjump at the very end. He looked like he was going a little to the left, but he kept it together.
Yes.
And that's good teamwork. Teamwork's not teamwork. Good, what is the word? Camaraderie between the two of them. All right, well, they leave. Medals decided, and it's time to find out the big one. The final race for the women. Natalia Kalichka versus Li Zhuangdeng. And the lights once again drop into blackness. I wonder if the athletes were told about this. Certainly we're going to hype the drama here a little bit. Of course, they can't see the crowd right now. We can see the athletes, but the crowd can't see the athletes.
Yeah.
Oh, this is just ramping the tension, isn't it? Natalia Kalichka looks...
They are just standing and waiting.
Oh, okay, well, the lights have gone away. It's time to go. And Natalia Kalichka with a big, big smile on her face as she walks across the stage, finally unleashed. And then Li Zhuangdeng on the right, kept within her zone, as she has done all evening, just staying focused.
Yeah. Let's see if she can bring it home.
Will China get their first gold of this World Cup? I mean, whatever, they're guaranteed a podium finish, but they would love it to be gold, wouldn't they? Almost identical PBs as well. You couldn't write this one. It's good from both. Li Zhuangdeng ahead, though. Natalia Kalichka is going to have to find something. We know she has the ability, but Li Zhuangdeng is pulling away at the top.
Oh!
Natalia did come back at her.
She did come back. It seemed like she was ahead in the upper middle part, let's say it like that. But then in the end, it's the right clock which turns green.
So Li Zhuangdeng takes gold in front of her home crowd. Let's watch this again, and yeah, look at that celebration.
She was happy about it.
Yeah, I love it when the athletes who like to stay within themselves. I think someone like Desak, for example, from Indonesia. She suddenly has this moment where she's won, where you can see it drift away and it's gone, and the smile comes, and it's great to see.
When you let your emotions flow and when you know it's over, and you did what you did, and you can just enjoy the moment.
Exactly. It's just like everything is gone. Well, China are guaranteed another gold here, because it is Peng Wu versus Jingwei Huang for the final race for the men, and the last race of this evening before we move on to interviews and podiums to finish things off. And the belay assistants are waiting. They clip the auto belay onto the athletes just to make sure everything is safe. Well, they didn't get quite the size of a light show, but they've already done one light performance. That's probably enough. Here we go. The athletes run out onto the stage. The spotlight picks them up. Peng Wu on the right, Jingwei Huang on the left. Peng Wu, in terms of experience and that PB, it's his to lose at this point, I think, but
doesn't mean anything.
Doesn't mean anything. I don't know why I keep saying that, because it really doesn't. But, you know, you have to objectively view it and then forget the objections.
Of course, yeah.
All right, Jingwei Huang gets himself ready. Peng Wu is facing the wall already. They step forward now. This familiar position we're used to seeing by the end of this evening as we wait for the buzzers to go. Good start from Huang. Good start from Peng Wu as well. It's really close here. Peng Wu maybe slightly ahead and does stop the clock almost under 5 seconds as well.
Almost. 5.05 to take the win. In a close final race.
Yeah, it really was. I couldn't call it throughout most of that. Look, my eyes are darting back and forth. It was one in the air.
Yeah.
Wow, well, that was as close as things get here this evening. And the crowd showing their appreciation there as the athletes hug. And the confirmation of those medal positions and finishes are on your screen. It's time to move on. Sebastian, I mean, a great race, a quick one, and nice to see lots of clean races and not many full starts.
Absolutely. We just had one false start, I think.
Yeah, just one full start, so it was...
One full start. I mean, it's one too much, but it's still... We had comps with many more false starts, for sure.
All right, well, Sebastian, you're going to leave me now. Go down and interview our winners. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Honestly, very, very good commentating. I know that sounds silly, but sometimes athletes struggle, sometimes they don't. You did a brilliant job, so thank you so much, Sebastian. Good luck next year with the 24 season. See you soon.
Thank you. See you around.
Well, thank you to Sebastian once more as he leaves. He will be making his way down towards that stage and that awning that's being set up. First of all, we have the flower ceremony. So that is, well, as it sounds really, the flowers handed out before we have the podiums and the medals. Good to see Alexandra Miroslav there signing autographs with the fans. She's got that Olympic ticket. She won that gold in Rome, and that is all that will really matter to her. Of course, she would have loved to finish off the season slightly different, but I think going through a little bit of adversity is no bad thing. And she said to me that she had a lot to deal with in the 4 weeks between Bern and Rome. Went through many things, and this will just be another thing. And I think by now she will put this to one side, have a holiday, reset, come back next year. Of course, next year is the Paris Olympics. And we're slowly starting to find out who will be competing at those Olympics. Pan Am's in a couple of weeks, and good luck to everyone taking part in that. Pretty talented athletes will be racing in terms of speed. And of course, things wide open for the Pan Am's after Emma Hunt won in Bern. A lot of people had her down as the favourite for the Pan Am's, but now she's already got a ticket. That's wide open. And a few different favourites have emerged. So do make sure you check that. Set your alarm for a couple of weeks. That's taking place in Chile. You can see the crowd now sort of milling around the stadium, taking the opportunity to find some of their heroes, get some signatures, get set up for the next round of the comp. Flower ceremony usually takes place underneath the speed wall. That might take place on that stage itself. I don't actually know where the podiums are going to be. I think they might be on that awning where the interviews will be, and we can see Sebastian actually there to the right of the awning in red trousers. He's waiting for our athletes to be gathered. There's been a nice atmosphere over the last couple of days. Everyone's staying in the same hotels, and it's good to catch up with all the athletes and coaches who've come to China for this one. Bit of a day off tomorrow in terms of competition stuff. But we will, of course, be returning in the evening for the lead finals. 8 men and 8 women have got through to that. And tomorrow we crown it for our final World Cup. I'm so sad it's over. I genuinely am. I remember looking at the calendar at the start of the season thinking how many countries and how many broadcasts we were going to go through, but in terms of World Cups, that's it. And for speed, that is it.
First of all, congrats for your win. How do you feel?
他问你你获得了冠军，你现在的感受有什么样的感受？跟大家分享一下，这样。
首先，我获得这个冠军，我真的非常荣幸，非常开心。再次，我也要感谢祖国对我的帮助，还有领导和教练的帮助，还有在场各位观众的支持以及大家的支持，真的谢谢大家，也祝贺我自己，谢谢。
I do okay. Yeah, so I'm really happy, today to win the gold medal. So this is my very especially time. So thank you for our national team and all the leader coaches and especially today's spectators. Thank you for your very warming the welcome. So thank you so much. I'm so happy.
Congrats again, all the best to you.
他说再次祝贺你。
谢谢大家，谢谢在座各位。
Well, thank you to Sebastian and our winner Peng Wu there. Well, we're finding the next interviewee who's making their way onto the stage. Wujiang Deng is down there in the white jacket. Joining Sebastian there, you can see him against the awning on the stage. So I'll be quiet, not as we flick down.
Congrats to you. How do you feel after winning this World Cup?
Maybe need again, yeah.
Congrats for your win. How do you feel after winning here in your home country?
祝贺你在自己的祖国取得了今天的冠军，你现在有什么感受？跟大家分享一下。
首先谢谢大家，然后在自己的祖国拿到冠军很开心，然后这次的成绩，首先要感谢我们祖国的支持，然后感谢我的团队，大家对我的支持，感谢中国攀岩队。
First, I'm appreciate all of you tonight coming here, and I was really happy to win the gold medal. So appreciate our national team, the coaches, and my team. So the support give me the very big support to win the gold medal. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your evening.
谢谢你，你也享受今天的这一天吧。
好，谢谢大家。
好，谢谢。
Well, thank you to both of our winners here this evening. Great performance from Team China. I think they'll enjoy that one for some time to come. And now we just wait for the podium to continue, which will take place. There we go. Podium is revealed in the background in front of the speed wall itself, which is somewhat apt. Organisers just getting everyone ready for that. The athletes will come on as we watch a few clips. So the awarding ceremony will follow, as you can see. Everyone is getting ready here in the stadium. We'll be a couple of seconds away from giving away that gold, silver and bronze. So we will let this play out, let you enjoy this moment as we get everything ready before our podium finishes for those medals and the well-deserving end to our competition.
1 2 1 2。开放也在这个区域啊，对吧？
再见我的爱 I wanna say goodbye 再见我的过去 I want a new life 再见我的眼泪
女士们、先生们，2023国际攀联世界杯攀岩赛中国吴江汾湖站女子速度赛颁奖仪式将在1分钟后进行，敬请期待。
和离别不过是生命中的点缀，过了多年我才读懂了家人的眼泪，发现原来自己没有说再见的勇气，离别的伤感感染了。
女士们、先生们，2023国际攀联世界杯攀岩赛中国吴江汾湖站女子速度赛颁奖仪式将在1分钟后进行，敬请期待。
刻骨铭心的爱过，尽管来的并不是我。如果没有离别，如何学会承受打击？如果没有跌倒，如何能够学会爬起？所有都快要毁灭，至少我还有梦，也为你
So while we're waiting for our podiums here, I'm joined by Kyle in the commentary box. Apparently, a huge IFSC fan. So Kyle, did you watch the speed finals tonight?
Yes.
How did you think of it? They're so quick, aren't they?
Yeah, they were so good since they were winning in China and they were Chinese athletes, which is really cool for us Chinese fans.
So Kyle, tell us, how old are you?
I'm 14.
Wow, and do you climb yourself?
Yes.
What's your favorite type of climbing?
I like bouldering best since you can try multiple times instead of where you just get one chance at it.
I completely agree. I am definitely more of a boulder fan than anything else, so I think that's definitely the right decision. And where do you live, Kyle? Are you in Shanghai or are you here in Wujiang?
I live below Shanghai in the province of Zhejiang.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about, because I have never climbed in China, so tell me, are the gyms good in China?
They're building more and more these few years and bigger, and the largest ones in China are the ones in Shanghai and Beijing, which I've been to, and they're really cool.
Okay, and for you, are you one day hoping to be on an IFSC stage, or are you looking for real rock climbing, or what's your preferred?
I'm just a casual rock climber which goes to the gym and just hangs out and speaks with other climbers and learn their stories.
Well, Kyle, I've loved learning your story. Thank you. I did not expect you to join me in the commentary box, and I really appreciate your time. Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you for having us in China as well. Kyle, one day you can come back and do a proper commentary with me, the whole competition. How about that?
I love that.
Okay, it's a deal. Next time I'm back in China. Kyle, thank you very much. Lovely to speak to you. See you soon.
Thank you very much.
IFSC World Cup 2023。
女士们、先生们，2023国际攀联世界杯攀岩赛中国吴江汾湖站女子速度赛颁奖仪式现在开始。
Well, the waiting is over. Thank you for Kyle for helping me fill some time there. And it is time for the women's, I think that's the women lined up, but their podium time. So we're almost ready here. Music starts in the background. And the athletes file onto the stage. Li Juan Deng, of course, taking that #1 spot. Natalia Kaluchka in second. And third, Dainu.
Director of Mountaineering Administrative Center and Party Secretary of the General Administration of Sports of China.
国家体育总局登山运动管理中心主任、党委书记韩建国先生。
Event Delegate of International Federation of Sport Climbing.
国际攀岩联合会赛事代表
Fabrizio Minino. Member of the Party Working Committee and Deputy Director
So the
of
three
the
women
Management
lining
Committee
up,
of
ready to
Fenghu
receive
High-Tech
their
Industrial
medals.
Development Zone.
汾湖高新区党工委委员、管委会副主任顾
There are
燕
the
先生。
dignitaries awaiting this moment.
Bronze medalist representing China.
获得铜牌的是
First up,
中国
in that
牛
third
笛。
position will be Dainu. She stands up to receive her medal. And as you'd expect, a big response from the Chinese crowd. Bronze medal around her neck. And that must be a special feeling for her. First World Cup back in China for 4 years, of course. After various COVID restrictions and world events prevented us
Silver
coming back. It's
medalist
nice to be here in
representing
Wujiang in this
Poland.
new venue.
获得银牌的是波兰。
Silver medal position. It was a good race from her.
Kalucha.
Natalia Kaluchka. Big smile on her face as well, and that silver medal we put around her neck. Official there, taking care of proceedings for us.
Gold medalist and winner of Wujiang Speed World Cup
And
2023.
finally, the winner here tonight in
representing
front of her home
China.
crowd. Li Zhuangdeng stands up on the top spot. It's a gold medal for her. And what a statement
Deng Lijuan.
for Chinese speed climbing as she takes that gold medal.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of People's Republic of China.
女士们、先生们，请起立，奏中华人民共和国国歌。
Well, the end of the national anthem
有
of
请
China.
颁奖嘉
And
宾
we
与
swap
获
around
奖运动
and
员
get ready for
合
the
影留
men
念
to。get their trophies and medals now. Athletes gathering on top for the usual photo opportunities down at the front. The world's press gathering to take that vital podium picture. Natalia Kaluchka looking pretty happy there. She raises up those flowers.
感谢颁奖嘉宾。
Thank you.
So we'll reset, get ready for the men.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Cup medalists.
再次祝贺获奖运动员。
Bit of confusion there. Everyone going in different directions. I think some interviews being sorted out. Well, let's get ready for the men. I'll join you in a couple of minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, the awarding ceremony for the speedmen will start later.
女士们、先生们，2023国际攀联世界杯攀岩赛中国吴江汾湖站男子速度赛颁奖仪式稍后进行，敬请期待。
All right, here we go. Time for the men's podium.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The winners
the victory
waiting in the
ceremony
wings,
for the
getting
Wujiang
ready.
Speed World Cup 2023.
女士们、先生们，2023国际攀联世界杯攀岩赛中国吴江汾湖站男子速度赛颁奖仪式现在开始。
Please welcome the medalists for the Speedman.
有请获奖运动员、颁奖嘉宾入场。
The medals and flowers will be presented by
为运动员颁奖的
So
是
the men line up,
Director of
two Chinese
Mountaineering
athletes and a
Administrative
Japanese
Center
athlete making
and
it
Party
through
Secretary of the General Administration
to
and
this
Sports
stage
of
in
China.
proceedings.
国家体育总局登山运动管理中心主任、党委书记韩建国先
Peng
生。
Wu taking that victory here tonight.
Event delegate of International
In
Federation of
second
Sport
place and
Climbing,
third Xin.
国际攀岩联合会赛事代表
Fabrizio Minino. Member of the Party Working Committee,
中国登山协会攀岩运动部主任厉国伟先生。
bronze medalist representing Japan,
获得铜牌的是日本。
Omasa Rio.
So Rio Omasa will lead things off with that bronze medal. Big night for him. A good competition and a good year from the Japanese athlete. He'll be looking to build on that. 4:24, and of course the rest of the Olympic qualifying events will take place soon.
Silver medalist representing China,
获得银牌的是中国黄静杰。
Jin Guihang is next. Silver medal for him. Came close to taking that gold, but wasn't to be on the night. That silver, well deserved. Team China getting two men on the podium here tonight. Of course, the man of the evening is next to him. Peng
gold
Wu
medalist,
is up next, the
and
gold
winner
medalist.
of Wujiang Speed World Cup 2023,
The second time we'll hear the
representing
national anthem of
China.
China across the
获得
stadium.
金牌的是
Congratulations
中国
to Peng Wu.
武鹏。
What a year he's had as well, and a big smile across his face as he stands up on that top spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of People's Republic of China.
女士们、先生们，请起立，奏中华人民共和国国歌。
Well, congratulations once more to China and Li Zhuangdeng, a
有
well-deserved,
请
sorry,
颁
Peng
奖
Wu,
嘉
a
宾与
well-deserved
获奖
gold
运动
medal for
员
him.
合影留念。
Congratulations to Team China, coming back strong after COVID. We remember in Vila, they kind of shocked the world showed everyone what they've been working on behind the scenes, and now all that hard work again paying off for them in this final World Cup of the year. Couldn't have asked for a better set of results for them. They'll be enjoying this for quite some time. After this podium, we've got 2 more to come. The overall victors will be crowned, so do stick with us for that. Coming up in a couple of minutes after the photos.
Ladies and gentlemen, the World Cup medalists.
再次祝贺获奖运动员。
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the speed overall climbing
Well, here we go. The
World
speed
Cup
overall is
2023.
crowned tonight.
女士们、
It
先
came
生
down to the
们
wire, especially
，2023
for
国际攀
the
联世
women.
界杯攀岩
For
赛
the men.
女子速度年度总冠军颁奖仪式现
See
在
how
开
that
始。
worked out, but Frederic
Please
Leonardo was the
welcome the
current leader.
medalists for the
He wasn't
speed
here at this
overall
competition.
women.
Left the door
有
open.
请获奖运动
Time
员
will tell
颁
with
奖
that
嘉
to
宾
see
入
if he
场。
stays on that top spot. For the women, Alexander Miroslav leads on. Congratulations to all of our overall medalists. So much hard work comes into this moment to stand on that top spot.
The medals and flowers will be presented by
为运动员颁奖的是
Director of Mountaineering Administrative Center and Party Secretary of the General Administration of Sports of China,
国家体育总局登山运动管理中心主任、党委书记韩建国先生。
Event Delegate of International Federation of Sport Climbing,
国际攀岩联合会赛事代表
Fabrizio Minino, Member of the Party Working Committee and Deputy Director of the Management Committee of Fenghu High-Tech Industrial Development Zone,
汾湖高新区党工委委员、管委会副主任顾燕先生。
Bronze Medalist representing China,
获得年度第3名的是中国邓丽娟。
Well, Li Zhuangdang gets the bronze medal for the overall for 2023. Second in a row, of course, this evening after that gold a couple of minutes ago.
Silver Medalist representing Poland,
获得年度第2名的是波兰。
Alexandra Kaluchka could have made it onto the top spot. She'll have to second for silver this time, but I don't think she really cares. A silver medal for Alexander Miroslav in terms of the overall win. What an end to a successful Olympic ticket winning season.
Gold Medalist and winner of the Speed Overall Climbing World Cup 2023 representing Poland,
获得年度总冠军的是波兰。
Natalia Kaluka.
Natalia Kaluchka takes the overall victory. Super happy, that big smile across her face. And we've seen it all evening, in fact. Another brilliant performance tonight from her, and the overall victory for 23 sewn up season she's had.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Poland.
女士们、先生们，请起立，奏波兰国歌。有请颁奖嘉宾与获奖运动员合影留念。感谢颁奖嘉宾。
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Well, the women lead the stage, and we wait for the men's overall champions to be gathered.
祝贺获奖运
Of
动
course,
员。
photos first and interviews. I think everyone's a bit confused about which direction to lead the stage, but we've got it now. And we wait for the men to enter. We will have a representative from Indonesia in Bedrick's place.
Ladies and gentlemen, the victory ceremony for the Speed Overall Climbing World Cup 2023.
女士们、先生们，2023国际攀联世界杯攀岩赛男子速度年度总冠军颁奖仪式现在开始。
Please welcome the medalists for the Speed Overall Men.
有请获奖运动员、颁奖嘉宾入场。
The medals and flowers will be presented by
为运动员颁奖的是
Director of Mountaineering Administrative Center and the Party Secretary of the General Administration of Sports of China.
国家体育总局登山运动管理中心主任、党委书记
Well, the
韩建
athletes are
国先
gathered
生。
now. The dignitaries are announced once more to our audience and you listening at home.
Event Delegate of International Federation of Sport Climbing.
国际攀岩联合会赛事代表
Fabrizio Minino. Director of Sports Climbing Department of the Chinese Mountaineering Association.
中国登山协会攀岩运动部主任厉国伟先生。
Bronze medalist representing United States of America.
获得年度第3名的是美国
Samuel Watson.
Samuel Watson stands on the 3rd spot of the podium. Bronze medal for him. A good season, and he'll certainly build on that. Certainly the best in the USA at the moment, and the young man with a huge speed climbing potential ahead of him. He goes into the Pan Ams in a couple of weeks. Certainly one of the favourites, and a smile across his face.
Silver medalist representing China.
Position.
获得年度第2名的是中国武鹏。
Peng Wu takes 3rd place here tonight. Gold earlier on, of course, for the individual. Silver for the overall. And of course, more flowers for him. He'll have quite a collection now.
Gold medalist and winner of the Speed Overall Climbing World Cup 2023, representing Indonesia.
获得
Leonardo Vedrick, Aspar representative.
Well, Aspar is representing Leonardo Vedrick, and that 1st place from Team Indonesia. He will be wishing his colleague all the best, I'm sure. So congratulations to Leonardo Vedrick, not Aspar as we see. But it is time for the national anthem of Indonesia to play. Our final anthem of this evening.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem of Indonesia.
女士们、先生们，请起立，奏印度尼西亚国歌。
Well, congratulations once again to Vedrick for taking that overall victory, and of course, congratulations to all the athletes who raced all season. It's been a long one. A lot of hard work, of course, goes into every second on that speed wall. The athletes deserve all of the accolades that they will be receiving, and of course, speed getting its own individual medal in the Olympics next year.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen,
so the athletes will leave the stage, and we will say goodbye to you this evening. Tomorrow we will be back with the lead finals around 7:30 Shanghai time. Hopefully you can join myself and Alani Hip here in the commentary box as we take you through all of the action from the last 8. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Sebastian Luca for joining me, Matt Groom, here in the commentary box this evening, and we will see you very soon.
Ladies and gentlemen, this event has come to an end.
女士们、先生们，今天的比赛已经全部结束。
appreciate your attendance and would like to remind you to collect your belongings and dispose of any trash before exiting the venue. Please follow the staff instructions to leave in an orderly manner.
女士们、先生们，今天的比赛到此结束，请您遵循工作人员的指引，带好随身物品，按顺序离场。离开时，请您带走身边的废弃物。感谢您的合作，再见。